When did you get into art? When did you first realize you had such an incredible talent?
I didn't really get into it because I was playing soccer. When I was taking the drawing classes, I kind of did these still figures and I was like, oh my God, I can draw.
So it started with drawing.
Yeah, I started drawing. I never took a painting class.
Hello, I'm Brittany Forbish with Mountain America Credit Union, and today we're joined with artist La Morena here in Phoenix, Arizona, and we're so excited to have you. Thanks so much for being on today.
I'm super excited that you guys are here and that we're in my studio, my new studio.
I know, this is great and so awesome to see behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So tell us, for those of us that maybe don't know your background, when did you get into art, and when did you first realize you had such an incredible talent?
So crazy thing is that growing up, I wasn't that much into art. I say that I was an athlete first before an artist, because I spent from my younger years being on the swim team, playing soccer. I played competitive soccer since the age of 14 throughout up until college. And so it was crazy because growing up, I honestly wanted to be a famous soccer player. But full circle, that didn't happen. The cool thing is I ended up working with these big sports clients, which is, in the same, I don't want to say, it's like, I'm not the athlete, but I get to be in the environment of sports. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, it started probably around my college years. But you know what? As a little kid, I was always intrigued by art. I just didn't know much about it. I do remember the smell of pastels coming from my art class in elementary, and my teacher, Miss Sargent. And I loved that feeling, and I loved that smell. That was the first time it really intrigued me. And then it was 16 years old was the first time I seen Chicano art on TV. I remember seeing, his name was Pablo Luna, and I was a Saturday morning, I was having my cereal, and this Chicano dude came on TV and he was showing his art, and I was like, what the heck? I was like, I've never seen that before. And I remember thinking to myself, I want to do that. And so I think from that point, I didn't really get into it because I was playing soccer.
Yeah.
And then not until I went to college, I went to Glendale Community College, and I played soccer there. And I took some classes because I was going for computer graphic animation. And the base classes for that program is you have to take art, like drawing, 3D dimensional, 2D dimensional. And so I took all that. But when I was taking the drawing classes, I kind of did these still figures, and I was like, oh my God, I can draw.
So it started with drawing.
Yeah, I started with drawing. I never took a painting class. So yeah, that's where it kind of started, was going to college for these classes.
And how did it transform over to the painting side? I mean, it sounds like you do a variety of different artwork, but how did it transform to murals and painting and where you are today?
And so it started probably, let's see, I think it was I know it was around 2015 is what happened. Is before I was doing art, again, there was another moment that happened. Was I was inspired by graffiti art. There was an underground art show that was happening in Phoenix. I went to it, I saw it, and I was like, I love this. I want to do this. So I started throwing underground art shows in Phoenix and near Roosevelt Row. But I was just throwing events, being kind of like this art promoter. Didn't know exactly where I was going, but there was a moment that happened in 2015 where Pete Salas from Bar Smith, he was the club owner at the time, reached out and said, hey, there's these group of artists that flew in from the East Coast. They're here to do a mural project. Would you mind showing them around town or helping them out? I'm like, yeah, sure. And so I showed up with my equipment because I was so excited. I was like, I know community. I've got my foot in the door by throwing these events. But at that time, I was not painting. I wasn't doing any murals, and I've never picked up a spray can. But they came in and they did this project with Robin Renicki from Colibri Human Rights Organization and Mark Silver, who did the film Who is Diane Christel. So the leftover money from that project, they funded this mural project. And so the artist came and They're on 2nd Street in Washington, this huge wall. Now remember this part because it's so significant to my story. So the wall is on 2nd Street in Washington. And so when they were painting, they're painting 2 blue hummingbirds. While one of the artists was up there painting, Robin comes out running out and she's like, stop painting, stop painting. We're like, what? She's like, they're pulling the plug. We're not allowed to paint anymore. We're like, why? They never told us why, but they shut us down. So we're not able to finish the mural. But I don't know if people will remember from Arizona that there was 2 hummingbirds on 2nd Street in Washington for the longest time. That was us. That was me. I was part of that. But however, before they were about to send the artist home because they were like, how are we going to get another wall within this time frame? But we were able to find another wall in the Grand Avenue Art District. And when that happened, the word got out and other artists came to help us paint. News journalists came out to document what was going on. And then community members came out and brought like food and drinks for us. And I was like, what the heck? And it even like taught me and educated me more about the subject. And it changed my perspective, and I thought to myself, if that can happen for me, imagine the many more it could do it for. And that was the first time I've ever seen the power of art in murals. And so from that point on, I started painting across the country with another artist. And me and him traveled other places, and I was an assistant. I just kind of helped him, do fill-ins. And I picked it up. And in 2017, I got a phone call saying that they wanted me from Wall Therapy, saying that they wanted me to paint my mural. It was actually my first mural by myself, but I got a phone call from a project called Wall Therapy, and they reached out and asked me to paint in their mural festival. And I was like, what, me? At that time, I only had 500 followers. I've never painted a mural by myself, but I was like, oh my God, me?
That's incredible.
So yeah, in 2017, I just got on the plane, designed the mock-up on the plane, and I painted in Rochester, New York. It took me about 11 days. The wall was 80 feet long, 20 feet tall. And that's when that was another impactful moment, because when I posted that mural, it just went viral. Everyone was sharing it. And they were like, people from LA were like, Viva la Morena. They were saying like, Viva la Chicana, Viva la Morena. I was like, what? And I was like reading, because I went to sleep and I woke up and my phone was just going off. And I was like, what is going on? And then I picked up my phone and I seen those messages and I was like, what is happening? And so that's kind of how it started. Yeah.
Yeah. And when did you start going by the name La Morena? And was that always something you used as an artist name? And kind of what's the meaning behind that as well?
So I've not always used the name, but the name was used since I was little, but it wasn't used in as a nice comment. It was more to be made fun of for being, and what it means is like dark-skinned woman. So kind of used as in a way of making fun of me for being dark. That's how I took it as a kid. But when I got older, and I painted in the summer of July, I think it was 2016, and I was outside, and at the time I was looking for an artist name, and I was painting in July, and then I was with my friend Monique, and we're at her house, and we're in the kitchen. I remember this, and I was like thinking about the artist name, and then we both got quiet and we looked up and we looked at each other and I was like, oh, I got it. And we were all like, La Morena at the same time. And now I use the name because now I embrace it. I'm proud to be, who I am and where I come from, the color of my skin, And I want younger generations, other La Morenitas, to feel the same.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up as a kid, I didn't see portraits that look like me or paintings or murals that look like me. And so it's part of my mission as a muralist is to continue that legacy of our people and put that strength and resilience in the murals that I paint. So that's why I often paint portraits. And I do it so that females like-minded could see themselves in these images. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's amazing. And we were at the Queen Creek branch today for our ribbon cutting and got to see your incredible mural there that's featured at that branch. So tell us where you got the inspiration for that and kind of What was the vision? What does it look like? What meaning does that have to you?
One of my favorite things to do, my other passion is being out in the land. I like to spend time out in Salt River, in the desert. I know it's hot, but there's days where it's not hot. You know, before summer comes, it is beautiful to be out there. I don't know if you noticed that some of my murals and my paintings, I paint them in golden hour. In Arizona's, because I feel like Arizona has one of the best sunsets. I'm sorry,
It's beautiful. I won't fight you on that one. I love Arizona.
Yeah. So I've just being out there in the desert, in the land, when you see that's the golden hour, something happens to the desert. The from the four-legged to the winged ones to the coyotes to the owls, they all start to awaken at when the sun sets. They start to become louder. And I've noticed that. And so it's become one of my favorite times of the day. And so I took that inspiration into the mural that I did for Mountain American Credit Union. So you're going to see those bright colors. And the interesting thing is that mural is actually facing the west. So when the sun sets, that reflection is hitting the window. So it brightens up the mural naturally.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I thought,
check it out.
Yeah, when you see it at sunset, you'll get to see that little glow from it. And so that kind of inspired me with the colors. And for me, colors play a big role in energy and how you feel and how it makes people feel. So when I do my paintings certain colors will shift energies, right? So first, what captures someone's attention is the bright colors. And then from the bright colors, they look at what's in front of the paint or the colors, right? And so to me, I've learned that just by observing people when I paint murals in the street, because I love doing one of the reasons why I love painting murals is because I'm out in the public. I'm in the streets. I'm engaging with community. So I like to watch them, right? And that's what I learned. The colors is what they navigate for. And then they step back and take a look at what they're looking at. And so with the mural that I did for Mountain American Credit Union, that's where the inspiration was coming from. It's like the colors, from the colors to the landscape, to the land and the environment around me, which is, in Queen Creek right now, there's development happening. Before the development, it's all lands and agriculture, and you could see for miles. But now the city is growing, and I want to incorporate some of those aspects into the mural, and then also add the eagle.
Yes, I love that. So tell us about some of the symbols you did in that mural, because I know you like to use symbols.
Yeah. Well, I also have a relation with the eagle, as well as, that's the company symbol as well for Mountain American Credit Union. Out in Salt River, there's two eagles. There's a female and a male. And for the past years, I've been able to see the babies that they have. And I just recently went out there with my friend Amson, and I saw the mom and dad eagle, and I saw the baby. And then my friend actually found two eagle feathers. And then he, I was so happy. He gifted me one of the eagle feathers. And that's such an honor for Indigenous communities. That's such a special gift. It's it's medicine, And so I just have this connection with the bird, so I was really happy to paint it. And then other symbols was I just included some of the scenery that I see when I'm driving out there in Queen Creek, and I incorporated those into the mural. So yeah.
It's an incredible mural and so beautiful, and I love all the thought and the symbolism and the colors and learning more about the sunset. I guess when people come into the branch, what do you want them to know about the mural, or what do you want them to feel when they see that mural?
I hope they can see it. It's in the back of the
so when you come, it's on the west side of the building. It's behind the teller line, but it's more visible outside than inside. Yeah. So come see it at sunset, right?
I think hopefully when the sun is setting, it's more and more clear. They can actually pulls them to be like, what is that? And then to see the messaging, and to actually have the messaging intrigue them to go around the other way to see, what else is behind the doors.
Yes.
In the branch.
And speaking of this beautiful mural, I hear this is not the only one that's going to be at a Mountain America here in Arizona. So I hear we may be expecting another one in one of our new Phoenix branches. have you started thinking about what the vision looks like for that and
Yes.
what that's going to entail?
Yeah, I'm so
any
excited.
sneak peek you want to, anything you want to provide? I know you don't want to share maybe the whole thing, but just what can we look forward to as that branch opens?
I guess I can say it is at a prime location. It's like a block or two away from the Roosevelt Rail Art District. So it's on 3rd Street in McDowell. And I'm like, when I went to the wall, I was jumping up and down, like screaming, because it was like, I don't know, us muralists, we get excited about seeing the walls. And it was so big. It's like 55 feet long, I think 50 feet long.
Oh, wow.
And then it's about 10 feet tall, but it's just a clean wall. I'm just like, I love it. And the significance of it to me is that it's near the art district, and it's where everything started for me. And so this mural is going to incorporate the cultures, the different cultures in our surrounding Maricopa County. And we have so much rich culture. We have so much color. And I want to incorporate that into the mural, and not just by seeing it, but also feeling it. So you're going to see those bright colors bringing them in. You're going to see the land elements. You're going to see that spirituality that Phoenix carries, you know, from our indigenous communities, because we have 22 Native American tribes here. And I try to honor them all in everything that I do. So, yeah. And so I'm pretty excited about this mural.
Well, that's exciting. Is it on the exterior this time, or?
Yeah, it's going to be in the exterior.
Is it on the actual like brick of the building? Or
yes.
Okay, well that's gonna be a little something different then.
It's gonna be
something to really look forward to.
Yeah, it's gonna be facing the main street.
Oh, I love that. So we really appreciate you coming on, and can't wait for all the exciting things you have, including the new mural at the Phoenix branch. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. A pleasure to be here. I am La Morena, and this is Guiding You Forward podcast.